a harsh boss, an ex-spouse, or even just an annoying neighbor. We all encounter people that we don't like or don't agree with. And learning how to manage other people is a constant challenge. So, what can be done? Can you ever really change other people? Well, I'm going to answer that question today, and I'm going to do something really different, something I've never done. I'm going to share with you a rare excerpt from my book, Career UpRising, Unlock Your Potential and Advance Your Career. And this chapter that I'm going to share will address this exact question. And I think the answer might surprise you, but you'll be able to use the steps that I outline in today's show to transform any relationship, personal or professional. Welcome to episode 66, How to Change Other People. Welcome to Career UpRising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everyone, Lorraine here. How are you guys doing? I'm a career and life coach that helps you get unstuck and take ownership of your career and your life. So if you want to do that, thanks for finding me. Thanks for selecting this episode. I think it's going to be a good one. So make sure to hit subscribe as well on iTunes so that you don't miss anything. I come out with about 2 shows or so a month at least. So I try to get something new out there for you guys pretty regularly. And I'm going to go ahead and do just a quick shameless plug as well and ask you to review the show on iTunes. If you like what you hear, give it a rating, write a few kind words, only if you like it, of course. But it helps the show to be found by people just like you, and I would appreciate it. And it's a way that you can kind of say thank you as I give this show to you for free on a regular basis, which I'll always do, and I love doing. So a way to show gratitude would be just write me a few kind words on iTunes if you have an Apple account. So I would love that. And if you don't, when you still want to help out, you can always send me an email with a little testimonial snippet and I'll put it on my website. We'll figure something out, right? So awesome. So how to change other people. Wow, what a topic. I've definitely had this one on my radar and on my schedule of topics for a long time. I tend to plan things out ahead of time because this is a good one, all right? And I'm going to do something really different. I'm going to experiment with something. I hope it works. I hope you're open to it. I'll share that with you in just a second, but we're going to do a little different format today. But I'm really excited to tackle this topic because I feel very passionately about it. And I think that we spend a pretty disproportionate amount of time trying to change other people, whether we realize it or not. We are. You, right now, I guarantee you, there's somebody in your life that you're trying to change. How's it working? Right? Is it your spouse? It could be even your child, your boss, a coworker, a neighbor, right? No one's immune to this. We all have people that we don't like or don't agree with or that don't like us or whatever, right? And I'm going to challenge you to really think about, just keep it in the back of your mind the next time you go to work or, at home, it doesn't matter. Ask yourself honestly, am I trying to change this person? Am I trying to make them more like me? Right? I'm guilty of this too. We walk around constantly trying to get other people to simply act more like us and just see the world the way we do, right? It's just so simple, right? It'd be so simple if everybody just saw everything the way we do. And so I'm going to challenge you to really look at your dialogue, your thoughts, your conversations with people, and ask yourself, how much time do you spend trying to get other people to conform to your expectations? This is a massive cause of suffering in people's life. And it's crazy. So I'll save the discussion a little bit more for afterwards. But what I want to do to kind of kick this off is read something to you. And it's brief. But I wrote a book. It's a short one, guys. It's an ebook. So don't worry if you're not into books. But a lot of people like ebooks, and it's not an audiobook yet, but it's an ebook. You can get it right on my website, careeruprising.com. And it's got the theme of careers in it for the most part, but it's applicable to so many things. And I have a little short chapter in there called How to Change Other People. And so I'm going to read you that today. I'm going to read you just I've never done this before, a little excerpt. It's just take a couple minutes from the book. And then we'll talk about it. Okay. We'll digest these concepts a little more because this is a tough one for people to wrap their minds around sometimes. And I know it has been for me. I'm no exception. So here we go. I'm going to read this to you. Okay. And then we'll dive in to conversation. How to change other people. So what about the role of other people? If I really do have control in my career and life, how does one explain the role that other people play? Bosses, coworkers, all of those people who get under your skin and don't recognize your value. Everyone knows you can't change other people, right? You've heard that said many times, I'm sure. And while I generally do agree with that statement that you can't change other people, or at least not the way that you think, what you can do is influence them. And you can change other people by changing yourself. Now, I know you want to balk at that statement and say, wait, they're the one who sucks. Why do I have to change? You need to change, not because there's anything wrong with you, but because it's the best and only way to change other people. So consider this scenario. You and your coworker don't get along. They annoy you every day. Maybe they have a different communication style or just an irritating personality. Maybe they make way more money than you and do nothing but surf Facebook and play Candy Crush all day or something. It doesn't matter why. But every day, the scenario is the same. You go to work, coworker annoys you, you react in your same typical negative manner, and you let it ruin your day. This goes on and on to the point that you can pretty much predict what your annoying coworker is going to say in any given situation. And what is happening here is that the two of you are acting out a script. You're essentially characters in the movie of your life, acting out a script that the two of you wrote. Yes, you are writing this script, whether you realize it or not. Person A says or does something, and person B gets annoyed and reacts in a certain way. You go back and forth, just reacting to each other over and over. And this can go on for years. But what if one day you decide to change? You decide to interrupt that pattern and change the conversation. Person A will say the same old annoying thing, but this time you react differently. This time you react in maybe a more positive way, and it takes them by surprise. So let's say then you keep doing that. They say something again that you don't like, but you give a more positive reaction. Or maybe you finally choose to not react at all. You're no longer playing that same character anymore. You've rewritten the script. And what choice do they have now but to react differently themselves? Don't ever believe that you can't change other people. You can, but you just don't get to do it by waving a magic wand and wishing that they would just disappear or just behave more like you. You have to do it the hard way by changing yourself. Here's another way to look at it. Think of your relationship with the other person as a simple math equation. Everyone knows that 2 + 2 is 4, right? So, and we have two things that are the same. We have two 2's, all right? So with two things that are the same, 2 + 2 = 4. So change one and only one side of the equation, just slightly. And let's just make it 2 + 3. Well, 2 + 3, everyone knows, doesn't equal 4, equals 5. We got a different answer. How can that be? We only changed one side of the equation, but yet the outcome changed. So relationships are like math equations. Changing one side, yourself, will still change the outcome. And as you would expect, the degree to which you change yourself will also affect the degree to which you change the outcome with the person. So in the math equation that we just did, we only changed the second digit by a value of 1. So if you changed it dramatically to 2 + 100, you'd have 102. Big difference. So there you guys have it. Did you like my dramatic interpretation of that? I've never read a book excerpt on air. I just did. So that's a little snippet from my book, and that's the chapter on how to change other people. So I want to talk about this more and expand on this in just a minute. Let's take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I'm going to have a lot more to say on this, and I'm going to help you transform all your relationships from the inside out. We'll be right back. Hey there, my listeners. We're on a short break, and I have a question for you. Are you looking for a new job, but you don't know where to start? Or maybe you've been searching and it's taking too long and you're not getting any results. Many clients don't know how to launch an effective job search, and they spend months or even years looking. Well, I have a solution for that. My coaching program, Career Jumpstart, teaches you my proven 3-step strategy that has landed hundreds of clients amazing new jobs in about 60 days. In this program, I personally will guide you on how to confidently and authentically market yourself to employers, resulting in a better job faster. If that sounds like what you've been missing, head over to careeruprising.com and apply for my Career Jumpstart program today. That's careeruprising.com. All right, let's get back to our show. Hey guys, all right, thanks for sticking with me. So it is so true. We spend so much time and so much energy. It's just exhausting. It is. We're trying to change other people. We're trying to make them more like us. We're trying to get them to meet all of our expectations, sometimes which are unspoken. How many times in life do we try to get people to just meet these expectations that they don't even know exist? You have them. And it's kind of a radical idea, but your expectations are your responsibility. They come from you, not from other people. I know. I had to learn this stuff too, guys. But the biggest takeaway from this is, and what I think so many people fail to realize, is that it's not the other person. It's not the fact that they are different than you or not doing what you want them to do. It's your desire and your need and your efforts to change them that's making you unhappy. Whoa. I know. Personal responsibility comes with this, guys. Would you want somebody to constantly be trying to change you? Right? Of course not. So that's where suffering enters the picture. That's where the conflict enters, because you're probably not allowing that person to fully show up as who they are in life. And that is what causes problems in relationships, when we don't allow the other person to be who they are. This is very, very true in personal relationships and marriage and things like that, right? You've got to allow the person to be themselves, to be who they are, good or bad or not. Allow them to show up fully in the relationship. And when you do that, it's amazing how much more influence, ironically, you can actually have over them versus trying to control them and trying to change them. It seems opposite. Seems like, oh, well, the more that I try to get him to do this or get him to do that, the more it should work. But does it really? No. What works is stop trying to change them. Stop trying to control them. They will relax, open up, feel the freedom that you give them, that you're allowing them to be who they are, and whoa, they actually become more receptive and more cooperative. It's the opposite of everything that you think it is, right? We're making ourselves unhappy by forcing our preferences, and trust me, that's all they are. They're just preferences and opinions on other people. And we all do it. I know I've done it. Just ask my husband. I'll tell you I've done it, right? It's so true. So remove the burden from yourself and stop trying to change another person. Accept them for who they are. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, but you do have to let them do it. Because here's the thing. We put our happiness in other people's hands, and we have to stop. Oh my God, we have to stop. What an enormous responsibility it would be to be responsible for someone else's happiness. Not even, this is going to surprise some people, not even your spouse is responsible for, quote, making you happy. They cannot do that. Another human being cannot be responsible for your happiness. I would not want that responsibility. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Even my child and whoever, I'm not ultimately responsible for their happiness. It is yours. That's why I want you to change in the relationship. If they get on board, great. But if not, that's their business. You clean up your side, they'll clean up theirs. But we expect people to, quote, make us happy, and it's just ludicrous. Would you want to be responsible for another human being's happiness? Oh my God, that is just a recipe for failed expectations. Right there. Your power in relationships lies in changing how you show up, because then you give them something new to react to. So of course it's going to be different. It has to be different. It just makes sense, right? This is very logical, but it's not how people go through the world. Other people will notice the change in you and respond accordingly. So it's ironic that the less you try to change other people, the more you actually end up changing them. This was a radical concept for me. I know it was. But apply this to anyone, your boss, your neighbor, your family, whoever you don't have a great relationship with. I want you to focus on you, because it's all you've got. You can't be getting all involved in what's their responsibility, right? So don't worry about them. Focus on you. And honestly ask yourself, where am I trying to change them? Where am I not fully accepting them for who they are? Where am I trying to restrict their personal freedom or assert my preferences and opinions on them? You're doing it. I've done it. You're doing it, okay? And it's not about manipulation either. Not at all. It's the opposite, actually, of that. We actually go through life trying to manipulate other people, whether we realize it or not. So that's the opposite of what I'm getting at. What I'm simply saying is for you to go, you know what? This script doesn't work for me anymore. This little thing, this game that we do, that's getting really tired, where you always do this and I always do this. And we always just keep fighting about the same things over and over, right? How many times have you ever said that to your partner or girlfriend or husband or anything? You just keep fighting over the same things. You're acting out a script. You're forcing your opinions and preferences on someone else, and they can't meet that expectation. So just stop. Changing your expectations, and I'm not saying lowering them, but I'm saying changing them will make all the difference. You cannot control them. Don't worry about them. You go first, right? A lot of people are hesitant to do this because they want the other person to change too. Oh, well, if they admit their half of it, then I want to do that. No, that's not how it works. You don't get to do that. One of you is probably going to have to go first, right? Why don't you go ahead and take the high road and be the first person to change, even when no one else will, even when you don't want to, especially then. Okay? You're going to increase the likelihood of them getting on board by you doing it. Focus and stay in your power, which is your behavior, your thoughts, your emotions, your expectations. You own those and only those. So focus on changing those. All right? When you do that, it increases the likelihood of you being able to change the other person. Bingo. All right. Maybe you love what you heard. Maybe you're never going to listen to this again. You're like, what? This is crazy. That's good. Maybe it triggers something in you. That's okay. But I'm available to help you with this. All right. You guys can find me at careeruprising.com. If you like this, if this is your jam, if this is the kind of thing you want to hear, let me know. I love emails from listeners. You can email me at Lorraine at careeruprising.com. You can email me if you hated it too. Whatever you want. But I'm going to leave you with that today. I think that's what I want to say on that. And if you feel so inclined, you can pick up my book on my website. It's $6. Okay. It's like the cost of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. But I expand on this a lot more. So you might find it beneficial, but there you have it, my friends. I will be back in December. Wow. And we'll be wrapping it up for 2019. This is so exciting. It's the end of the year is coming soon. New Year's is my favorite time of year. I'm so excited. It's coming. So I can't wait to close out the year with you guys very soon. And I'll be back. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show is brought to you by InflowRadio.com. The best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.